What's going on, everybody? This is the Racket Guru. So, now that I'm getting serious on the video, I think that these rackets are something you guys definitely need to try out. These are the Furi Arma Pro V2s and the Arma Pro 98. Now, on ground strokes, these are incredible. The specs are very similar to each other aside from the head size. So, the specs for the Arma Pro 98 is a 98 square inch head, 305 grams unstrung. The the unstrung swing weight is 290. Strung, it's about 227, almost 230. Its normal length balance is 31 centimeters. It has a varied beam width of 24, 23, and 2250. Stiffness is 64 RA plus or minus 2. It's a 16 by 19, and it oddly enough doesn't feel, it feels heavier than 305, and I it feels more along the lines of 310, 315, as those are my regular specs that I usually play with. Now, the Armor Pro V2 is 101 square inches, 305 grams unstrung, 290 grams swing weight plus or minus 10 unstrung. Still along the same swing weight, probably a little less, maybe 320. Normal length, 31 centimeter balance. Stiffness is slightly stiffer, 65 RA plus or minus 2, with a 16 by 19 string pattern. Both of these rackets were sent to me by Furi. You can check out their demo link in the description. They will be sending out demos when they can. They usually wait for you to hit a wait list, but they did come extremely fast. The support was amazing. Shout out to Eric from Furi Sports. Um, these rackets are amazing. Just short, sweet, simple. These rackets have a very crisp feel, and even though the stiffness is 64, it's kind of like almost along a blade spec. It plays so much better, in my opinion. I actually play with the Blade V8, and I've also played around with the Pure Arrow. The Armor Pro 98 is excellent from a power perspective and a control perspective. You can sit there and point and shoot with the 98, and you don't suffer from a lack of power. The racket feels perfectly powered, almost between an EZO 98 and a Blade 16 by 19. Right there in the middle is the perfect sweet spot for the power level of this racket. Now, the Armor Pro V2, the 101 square inch one, that one is going to be it has a lot of pop, a lot of pop. You can get anywhere between, I would say, an a pure drive and a Wilson Ultra. It falls kind of in between that power level. It is a very comfortable racket, a very classic feel on the racket. It almost feels like an old Radical, like the one that Agus used to play with, just the original Radical feel. It does lack a little bit of control because you do add a lot of power with the 305 grams. Um, but you do get a lot of spin with that very open 16 by 19 pattern. My favorite shot was probably the forehands for all of them, for both rackets. They felt amazing. You can flatten out the ball despite having such an open pattern. Slicing was great. If you contacted it right and you have better footwork than I do, you can really rip the ball and keep your slices low and skidding on the ground. You can also float the ball if you need to. You don't have to swing very hard. This racket, both rackets, really beg to be swung hard. You really, I struggled a little bit when I was playing mini tennis just to kind of warm up, because when you're not adding your own spin, or you're not moving as much, if you get tired, you do get punished a little bit by the 98, more so than the 101, the Armor Pro V2. But I had both of these strung at 52 pounds with Furi C4, which is a great polyester in my opinion. Nice crisp feel, and there was actually a lot of string movement. You can hear it sometimes on the serves. When you're ripping forehands, you can really feel the string bed moving. So they have this technology called the energy return tech, and I'm not sure what it is, but it's almost like elevated parts of the racket around specific grommets at 10 and 2, typically where you would see lead tape put on there for some more power and some more swing weight, which probably adds to the heavier swing weight of the 98. Now, both rackets do have it. However, it's more prominent feeling on the 98. The energy return system, it's almost like if you can compare it to something, it'd be like the woofer system that you find in older Babylats, like an uh, Aero Pro drive. It's very it's very reminiscent of an older racket, which is a feel that I actually prefer. I feel that I feel that rackets nowadays are a little bit too flexible for my taste, and I do find myself kind of jumping in between stiffer rackets. And while I do get more power from the stiffer rackets, I do want more control. And I find that the Furi Arma 98 is perfect for that range. Now, when you get to playing some points, you end up finding that you can actually put a lot of spin with a 98, and you get a lot of really, really good control, even when you're playing defense. Because of how much power the 98 gives you, you do sometimes float the ball a little bit, and it does kind of explode off the string bed. Up higher in the string bed is what I found. And it's not exactly the biggest sweet spot. Now, when you hit the sweet spot, it feels amazing, like all sweet spots, but you do have to have some pretty good technique just to hit the ball cleanly. In this first part of the video, I had just gotten my contacts in with my new prescription, so everything felt clean. I was actually able to see the ball. Later on in this video, when I'm hitting ground strokes and wearing a different shirt, you'll actually see me struggle to find the you'll struggle to see me find the ball in front of me, and I'll catch a lot of things late. So if you're struggling, get your eyes checked. Might help a little bit. But I actually jumped in between a one-hander and a two-hander just for this, like for these rackets, and I found that a one-hander actually feels great with these rackets. I tried playing with that Pure Aero 2023 that you'll see the person next to me playing with. I actually use that racket as well, and I don't really like that one on a one-hander. I do have to use two hands on it because it feels a little bit better for a two-hander. But with the Arma Pro 98, the one-hander just felt smooth, buttery. It really did feel like I was channeling my inner Stan Wawrinka. With the Arma Pro V2, the 101 square inch racket, which you see me hitting with now, that one did feel good on a one-hander, but I felt like that one benefited more from two hands than a one-hander. The Arma Pro V2, the only thing that I would say is that it's just too powerful for my game, at least. I do swing pretty hard. I do tend to go for some sharper angles, and with that extra pop, you really struggle to try to drop it in. Now, as far as getting a lot of spin potential, if you're just hitting shots from the baseline and you're just looking for long rallies and you're an intermediate player to a beginner player, the Arma Pro V2 is perfect. If you're looking for more depth on your shots and you feel like you're just searching for more pop in your game, the Arma Pro V2 is calling your name. The Arma Pro 98 is going to be for a little bit more of an advanced player, intermediate to advanced. You'll see a lot of times where you have to swing pretty fast. You have to generate a lot of your own pace, so you can hear how great this racket sounds, especially on short balls. When you flatten out the ball, you can see after this slice right here, I'll come up. You add a lot of your own pace. Now, volleys. I will say that a lot of my complaints on these more flexible rackets is that the volleys do feel kind of dead. This isn't the case with these rackets, either of these rackets. Both rackets felt amazing on volleys, even if you catch it behind you, as you can see right here. I do catch it a little bit late on a lot of those volleys. A lot of those volleys didn't exactly find the point that I was trying to get them to until I got my eyes checked. Now, these rackets are very crisp on ground strokes at the net, and for both rackets, you can actually redirect pace very well. You find yourself, even if you're late, you're still not putting yourself in a defensive position and you're still able to stick volleys from wherever on the court. It's actually a really steady racket. It's very maneuverable for as heavy as the swing weight is at 330 grams for both of them, or around that weight. It's very maneuverable, easy to swing around, easy to move from side to side. You really can't, unless you're really looking, you really can't fault the racket. It sounds great on volleys. You can stick with good power, and I think that the 101 square inch one actually felt a little bit more stable. The 98 with the smaller sweet spot didn't really feel as stable, and so I tend to miss hit a lot more with the Arma Pro 98. So aside from the footwork and everything else for volleys, even if you're struggling and you need help on your volleys, you need a little bit more assistance, I think both of these rackets are an excellent choice for you. If you're looking for something more along the lines of a pro staff and a blade mix, something with good stiffness, good stability, I think that the Arma Pro 98 would be a great fit for you. On serves, with the serve, the 98 is king for me. The Arma Pro V2 again was simply just too powerful. Most of the time I spent serving with the 98. It does take a little bit to get used to because the swing weight was a little bit higher than what I usually play with. However, once you start getting used to it and I start lengthening out the swing, you can get a lot of good spin, a lot of great control. You can pick and shoot, or you can point and shoot and pick your spots. I really did just fall in love with the racket overall. The Arma Pro V2 had a lot of pop to the point where I would serve and the motion wouldn't change as much and I would still sail the ball long. But when it came to topspin serves, the Arma Pro V2 probably performed better than the Pure Arrow. But that is going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please go down in the description, check out the Furi link, and maybe check out some demos. I hope you guys have a Merry Christmas, and this has been the Racquet Guru. See ya.